What up? Wait, Erica, I need you to bring us in with those claps again. I need those claps again. It just sounds like, not necessarily clapping for us, but we clapping for the fact that God allow us to see another day. Amen. Can you see me on this camera? Okay. Holler.
You're not all the way in though.
I'm not all the way in.
There,
Am I now? There I go.
Yeah, you need to move
there
a
I
little
go.
closer.
That's good.
I took a shower today. You can.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Dwayne.
Yo, what's going on? Another episode.
Another episode.
What's the number, Whit?
What's the number? The number is 914-968.
No, we're not talking about that. What episode?
Oh.
What number episode is this, Whit?
I was like, use the number. We're episode 38? No, I think we're 39 now, right?
I think we are 39. I think
39.
Cruz told us last week that we had 38 episodes.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Belt.
Oh goodness, we're almost at the 40th show. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to do like a something next
Maybe
week,
at 50.
right?
Maybe at the 50th
At 50?
show.
Okay, at the 50. At the 50,
50th
but
we should do that.
our 39th show. So kudos to you, Dwayne, for making it for 39 shows.
Kudos to us, Whit.
Yeah, kudos to us.
Round
Yes,
of applause
definitely.
for us,
For sticking with us, right? For bearing with us, right? I'm so excited that this is our 39th show, Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Another Thursday evening of an amazing, thought-provoking, profound show where we come together and have conversations about the issues.
About
right?
the issues
about
of life.
The internal issues, not the social issues that many people are using their platforms for. We utilize our platform to deal with the internal issues. The soul issues that many people are really not dealing with. This is the reason why we may not have the following that those who prefer to use entertainment and other people's lives as platforms to build their fame and build their wealth on. I'm not knocking them, but what we do, we deal with the soul.
Yeah, we
deal with the internal issues. We want to see you experience an amazing encounter and transformation with God so you can become who you're supposed to be.
Yes, and you know what's so dope about our show is that we have conversations that a lot of people do not have or want to confront. You know what I'm saying? So this podcast that we have, our visual podcast that you can find on SoundCloud, Instagram, InTheMixRadio.com, and also did I say InTheMixRadio.com?
Yeah,
Facebook?
did. Yeah,
did I say
did.
Facebook? And also our Instagram channels that these type of conversations you can find you're not going to find really anywhere else. In our Meet an Authentic You book that Dwayne and I have, our first book written how many years? 3 years ago?
We got about 3 years now.
3 years in, which was the inspiration for our show, Meet
There it
an
is.
Authentic You, conversations, inspirations to help you meet you. This
There it is.
jump-started the idea of bringing this podcast together. This was the motivation for our podcast
Yes, it was.
Continue to have these conversations and go deeper and deeper, not with just Dwayne and I, but deeper with you as well. So
because the reality with, I'm sorry to cut you off, is that people were asking. They were asking for conversations with us. They wanted a place to come to discuss the meditations that we wrote inside of our book, Meeting the Authentic You, inspirational messages to help you meet you.
Right.
They wanted a place to come to. So what we decided to do was come together and create this space, which is now a podcast. And we decided to start the podcast as a result of people being inspired by the book that we wrote, which is Meeting the Authentic You. And we have now entered into our 39th episode, our 39th show, as a result of a book that we put together. And guess what, y'all? Tell them about what else we got coming with.
Our second book is about to be released.
Yeah, it is.
It is. We're in January. March, end of February, beginning of March, we have our second book, which I'm very, very excited about.
Yeah.
Because of just the title itself. The title speaks volumes. The title speaks a lot of words, a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
Don't drop out on you. And what's so dope about it, 2019, we refuse to drop out on ourselves.
Oh,
right?
man. I think you know what I was
so
thinking about?
It's just so dope that it's coming out 2019 because it's a totally different year. Hold on, about to preach. 2018 was a transformational year. God had to we had to confront ourselves. God had to show us who people really are. to bring us to 2019, to take everything we learned from 2018, to realize that we can't drop out on ourselves because there's so much things so much blessings that we're about to walk into 2019.
And
that's all I have to say.
Let's give some context to that. Let's give some social context to that, right?
It.
You know, God is an amazing God, right? Because
yes.
He will set the stage for the vision. So when you look at the climate that we're in right now, right, the social climate, right, we're looking at a government shutdown, and people are afraid. Yes. People are going through various emotions. People are not being paid. It's all kind of thoughts, all kind of evil and darkness that people are sitting in because of the government, because this individual who's in office, who's more concerned with pushing his agenda than being concerned about the people, right? So God sets the stage for this vision that He gave us about not dropping out on you. So the book plays a big role at this time in 2019 because people want to drop out. People are scared. People are afraid.
They want to throw up their hands and say, this is it. That's good.
I'm excited. I'm excited. And you want to make sure that you are aligned and in tune, because what God has a tendency to do is He gives you a vision.
Yes.
And the vision is connected to a need. If it's no need for it, then God ain't going to give you a vision for it. In 2019, we got another book coming for y'all. And this is not about just promoting the book. This is the reality. People need a fresh word. People need encouragement. People need inspiration.
Every day.
People are fighting to stay positive. You know why? Because it's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to give up. It's so easy to let go. Right. So what we are doing with our platform, the platform that God has given to us,
you move forward,
is we helping you deal with them internal issues, them soul issues, not just social issues, but them soul issues. So you want to make sure you tune in with us. Tune in with, I couldn't wait to get here tonight. I could not wait to get here tonight. So check this out. That's our first book, Meeting Authentic You. That's our second book coming out.
Yes. Where can they get, where can they get our books?
Oh, Amazon.com, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, any online book retail store that's selling books. You want to make sure you get a copy of our first book, Meeting Authentic You. That's kind of like your diary. That's like your journal. We have questions. We have exercises. And a lot of people who have purchased the book, they have given us reviews. Of course, we wish that they put those reviews on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and things of that nature, but it's okay. They gave us the review. And a lot of people have utilized that book as their Bible. As their Bible, I'm going to go there with, as their Bible. It has become their Bible for a lot of people who are not familiar with the Bible, and a lot of people feel like they can connect more with what we're talking about, because for some people who are not really Bible literate, they just can't really wrap their mind around Scripture. They fall asleep when they open up the Bible. They don't understand. They understand what we're talking about. So check this out. You want to make sure you get a copy of that book.
Yes.
And you want to make sure you get a copy of this other book that we got coming out. Don't drop out on you. We pray to God that book is going to be out fresh off the press this month, or maybe early, mid-February, but it's coming. It is coming 2019. Don't drop out on you.
Yes. And it's not just for you to read, but you're going to be able to, you have to do some work, because we do have some activities, some questions for you to dig in. So it's going to be dope. It's a workbook.
Yes, it is.
Intergenerational. It's not just for 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds. It's for 14, 15-year-olds. Every single person can benefit from this book. So don't drop out on you.
Yeah, let's do it.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me let the people know real quick. Shout out to all my Vibe With Me people.
Okay.
Shout out to all my Vibe With Me people every morning who is tuned into my morning videos. People across the world, as it is our custom on the show, I shout out people where they from: Holland, London, Canada, Africa, all across the country, all over the islands. People who are tuning in, rocking with me every morning, every week. We're looking at these numbers, not to make it about numbers, but just to give you guys facts and evidence and proof. We're looking at 50 to 60,000 people every week who are tuning in every morning to hear what it is that God got me getting up saying. So I want to shout you guys out. I want to thank you guys for your support, reposting the videos, tagging people in the videos, just purchasing the apparel. I thank you guys so much, because what's happening is it's a new army. It's a new army that's forming, and people love well, not everybody, because some people benefit off of negative platforms. Some people get attention and some people get paid. So I understand why they may not gravitate towards this positive spiritual stuff that's going on over here, because they're getting the negative attention or they're getting paid. So what's going on over here? And I'm not knocking them, I'm not judging them, because I'm pretty sure at some point when I was on that type of time, God dealt with me and he going to deal with them. As I said earlier this week, when God wants you, he going to get you. When God wants you, he going to get you. And he going to set the stage for your transformation. So I'm eagerly excited for those who have yet to surrender to God, because when you do, he going to give you more than what you've been giving yourself. So it's no judgment. It's all love. Ain't no hate. Ain't no envy. Ain't none of that. I'm just excited about what else God going to give you that's going to be more than what you've been giving yourself. So shout out to all my Vibe With Me people. Hey, yo, Whit, I seen something earlier this week. Alicia Keys made an announcement.
I was trying to peep that, but I didn't get a chance.
She made an announcement about her hosting the Grammys, and she started her 1-minute video by saying, "Come vibe with me." I said, "Oh, she must have saw the videos. Alicia Keys must have saw the videos. She must have seen D. Graham at work." She said, "Come vibe with me as I host the Grammys." I said, "Hey, whoa, wait a minute. What she just said? What did she say?" Oh, okay.
But you know what the thing is, the thing is that, us believing in God and where our beliefs are, right?
Yeah.
Alicia Keys saying something like that, as a believer, for me, I would say that's a vision that God is showing me, an inkling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good, Whit.
That the vibe with me and God is manifesting those things in people's conscience, and they don't really even know it. Like, he's showing you a preview of what's about to come.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So as a believer and speaking life and seeing vision, look at that. You're going to have people that you don't even know about, just saying those things. So that's dope, right?
And I'll say this, right? I'll be fair, right? Because I won't make it about me.
No,
right? It's never about me, right?
No.
Even though people have been using that word vibe, right, for a while.
All
right?
the time. Yeah, back
so
in
I'll
the
be
days.
fair, right? But I don't think anybody is consistent as me with saying vibe with me.
No, that's your thing. That's your tag.
Right? Nobody's been more consistent than me, right?
That's your tag.
So, people say vibes, vibing, but vibe with me, I believe that I have been the most consistent person. I say that humbly, not arrogant, not egotistical, not braggadocious, not being, just, what's the word I want to say?
I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. I won't say anything that's that makes me sound or come across as if I'm being full of myself, because I don't mean to do that. But it made me excited, and I love what you just said in regards to the preview, right?
The preview
of what is to come. So when I saw it, it made me excited, and I said, "Yo, you know what? Okay."
Because I was just saying, and I hope this is a word for somebody as a believer, or even as a believer, I don't believe in coincidence
at all.
You know what I'm saying? So just the fact that in this time, it just makes sense. So preview of what's to come. But what I want to talk about is my Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference, my 4th annual Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference.
Why I couldn't set the stage for that for you, Whit? Go
ahead,
I'm sorry.
Don't do it. Go ahead.
Yo, check this out. We got another year.
Erica, do the hand claps real quick, please.
We got another year. We got a 4th year. We got a 4th year of my sis Whit, of our 4th annual Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference. The date has been set. We are officially letting the people know that they can come back for a 4th time. A 4th time. Wait, can I please do this for you?
Yeah,
please.
I'm
sorry. A 4th time, right? A 4th time.
Okay.
In the hood, we get happy when we get seconds, right? But spiritually, right? God give you so much that he give you fourths. He give you
What's
fourths.
What's 4 mean?
Oh, man. What does it mean, Whit?
Grace, right?
Yeah. There you go. Hey, you get to get some grace at this next empowerment, women's empowerment, Get It conference that my sis Whit, God has given her a vision, and this vision is still. I said it 4 times because we're going into the 4th annual, the 4th year of it. It's still popping. So, Whit, how you feeling about this?
I feel amazing about it, because the thing is, when God gave me the vision 4 years prior to the 4 years, I said, God, how am I going to do this? I don't have the money to fulfill this vision. I don't have the people around to fulfill this vision.
Yeah.
How I'm going to do this, and you're calling me to something like this. God would not let me sleep on it. He kept bothering me about it and kept tugging at my heart. So let me just go ahead and step out on faith.
Yeah.
So stepping out on faith, having not the funds to make it happen, I decided to do it anyway. I said, God, if this is the vision that you gave me, then that's what I'm going to do. Because, listen, I tell people, like, when God gives you a vision, it's going to look bigger than your circumstances, bigger than your situation, bigger than your pockets, bigger than the people that you even have around you. You know what I'm saying? So when God gives you that vision, he's going to provide the resource for it. So what I had to do is trust him. And now we're in the 4th year. The second year was dope. The third year, what's the third year? It was last year. Mm-hmm. The first and second year was dope. The third year we sold out. I sold out of the conference,
Say it
yo.
Again, Say it again.
I sold out. I didn't have
again.
any more room. And
There you
people
go.
were still coming. Vendors were still trying to get on the map. Attendees were still trying to buy tickets. And I could not open the door. That was my 3rd year. The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. 3rd year, sold out. But this 4th annual year, yo, it's going to be so freaking amazing. I'm looking for transformational speakers. If you're interested in being a part of the Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference, it's going to be at the Watson Hotel in Midtown. I think it's 57 54th Street. If you're interested in being a vendor, holla at us, because we already have people interested sending me their proposals to be a speaker at our conference. But we need people who are transformational speakers. I'm not looking for motivational speakers, because motivational speakers is temporary. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for people who can you have tools that's going to transform somebody's life. Going to give them the tools that's going to take them to the next step, the next level. That's what we're looking for. So if you're interested, the event is November 16th of this year. Let me tell you, it might seem like it's a far away from now. It'll be here like tomorrow. But people are already knocking at our door for it. And then my keynote speaker, I'm not going to tell y'all who's going to be in the building. I'm not going to tell you.
Why not? What?
Nah, I'm still in negotiations. I'm not gonna tell you, but if I tell you what the person that we negotiating with,
Michelle Obama.
Yeah, the damn near. All right, so I'm gonna have to get a bigger spot.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to get to the topic. But before we get to our topic of conversation, we're going to introduce who's here with us sitting here. Because you might say, who's this person in the middle of me and Dwayne? You might not know. And then, we said Pretty Ricky is going to be in. Pretty Ricky is going to call in. But at the same time, before we get into the topic of conversation, we got to do our spirit check. And then we're going to let our guests, come into our spirit check as well.
Let's let him introduce himself.
Okay. You want to do our spirit check first?
Yeah, you go first. Ladies first. Queens first.
Okay, can you tell people what the spirit check segment is about?
The spirit check segment of the show is where we check each other's temperature, our spiritual temperature. How we doing? How we feeling? What's going on with us at this particular time? So, what's going on with you? How's your spirit on this Thursday evening?
Oh, you know what? We forgot. Okay, I'm going to bring it into what we do for the 31 days, right?
That's good.
So, this morning, we have a prayer call for the month of January, 31 days of prayer, January month of glory.
There you go.
Where we're praying every single day at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I talked about being afflicted. Thank God I was afflicted.
Right.
So he'll bring me, draw me closer to God. And right now, I'm just grateful for the experiences that God has allowed me to experience, whether the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it made me who I am and who I'm becoming. And it just gave me a different level of faith and trust.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for those experiences. So my spirit is feeling very grateful for everything.
That's good.
How about you?
My spirit tonight is still.
Okay.
My spirit is still tonight because throughout the course of this particular day and this evening, what I've been doing is I've been sitting, right? I've been sitting still in these visions. Mm-hmm. I've been sitting in the vision, right? Mm-hmm. Of course, there's the excitement, the anticipation of it to fully manifest itself,
right.
But I've been sitting still in it so I can really understand the responsibility that I have to steward in it as it manifests itself.
That's good.
That's important because sometimes you can be so excited about what it is that you believe God showed you and what God told you that you're not changing with the vision. Mm-hmm. You're staying the same. And then if God decides to release it, you're not really able to handle it. So for me, I've been still, and my spirit is still tonight, very excited. Don't be confused. I'm very excited. I'm very energetic. I'm very passionate about what's going on. But I'm still, because I have to really sit with the full, and even though it's my full. It's not God's full. Let's be clear. Mm-hmm. My full helps me understand what I got to prepare for. Mm-hmm. God's fullness is more than I'm able to really imagine.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give it because he know I can handle it, because he's not going to give it. He loved me too much to give me something I can't handle.
Right.
I'm clear on that.
Right.
So I'm still tonight because I'm sitting in the visions. And they're so vast. They're so big. They're so beyond.
God, I want to say something about that.
Go ahead.
The thing is that it's a good thing that you're being still, because God is working the vision out. And he'll show us a glimpse of what he has for us. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we can get like a little bit impatient, not to say you are, but sometimes we can get impatient and want to move and create things on our own when God has to still work some kinks out. He's still working, making and provide and getting those people ready to help you or bring you into that vision. So being still is great. It's a great way to be. A lot of us don't know how to be that because we're looking at everybody's life on social media. We're looking at the world. We're looking at everybody else and what they're doing, and we compare ourselves. So it's a good thing that you're being still. So that's a word for somebody.
Well, let me share this real quick before we get into giving them the calling number for the prayer call and then introducing our guests, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, right?
Right.
I can imagine, as a child, I'll go as a child, right? There was times when, I wanted to get dressed and get fresh and go to a party.
Mm-hmm.
But I had certain tests that I had to take, that I had to prepare for. And God bless his dead, my mom or my dad was like, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So you can think that you're going to do what you want to do, and there's times when you get a chance to sneak and do what you want to do, right? Because you ain't doing it with the father or the mother's permission.
Nah.
You sneaking to go do what the things that you want to do, right?
Right.
But I've come to learn spiritually that God loves us too much to let us, or rather allow us, right? And I want to choose my word. I want to make sure I use the right wording, right? He loves us too much. He loves us too much to allow us to be involved in things. We sneak and do, but he covers us in the sneaking, right? Mm-hmm. But he loves us too much to give us something that we can't handle.
Yeah.
He loves us too much. So for me, I'm excited because the visions, the stillness, and trying to do or exalt ourselves or speed the process up because we want to hurry up and get ahead because of, financial crisis or self-esteem issues or whatever it is that's going on with us that makes us want to hurry up and speed this process up to look like we done already made it, we famous or whatever. God loves us too much to allow those things to happen.
Yeah, for us to be stupid.
There you go.
Let's give him the call, and then we'll get to our guest who's here with us. But
let's do it.
We do a prayer call.
Let's do it.
Monday, we do a prayer call Monday Morning Glory, and you guys have heard about this because we've been promoting it, and it's our 6th year of Monday Morning Glory.
Yeah.
However, God, before coming into 2019, God gave me a vision.
Yeah, come on,
and said, let's do this. You have to pray for 31 days of January. Do a prayer call for 31 days consistently for the month of January. And we have done that. Today is the 17th day.
The 17th day.
The 17th day where Dwayne and I have been pushing ourselves, getting up in the morning and praying with our prayer warriors.
Discipline.
It's so dope now because this prayer call has blessed us.
Yeah, it has.
This prayer call has blessed the people that have been on our call. We have about 40, 50 people on our call calling in every single day at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 7:15, 7 to 40, depending on how the Spirit leads. But they've been diligent, and people have been being blessed, testimonies, and we actually created connections. And the thing is about this call is that people have connected on this prayer call, but they have connected and spoke to each other outside the prayer call because of the prayer call. So it's brought people together that didn't even know each other.
Yeah.
Tiff, shout out to you in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Deb, shout out to you. Kia, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Everybody who's calling in and making those connections on their own.
Yeah.
Not on their own, but God has led them together. So this prayer call, except 31 days, we have been diligently, seeking God going into 2019. God said we want to start this year off with God, not leave him in the middle of the year, but we're going to start it off intentionally. We're doing something intentionally.
Can I insert this real quick?
Sure.
Right? Because I want to use the context of the language for this Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference.
Oh, the
that
theme
you
is
use, right?
breakthrough. Go ahead.
Which is great. You didn't share that, but I love that you shared it now. Breakthrough, right? But what you said was, I don't want motivational speakers. They're temporary, right? Whoa, let's do it.
Okay.
I want transformational Formational speakers, right? Yeah. So what's been happening on this prayer call is
here we go.
People have been transformed. Blessed is cliche. Blessed is good, but it's still cliche. We want to change the language of this narrative that we've been putting out and that we've been conditioned to put out. The reality is that people who have been calling in to this 31 days of January's month of glory have been transformed. People are transforming.
It's dope.
Because you can be blessed and stay the same.
That's true.
We're not talking about being blessed and staying the same on our cause. We're talking about being transformed. Because we want you to be able to handle the manifestation of what it is that God is going to release into your life. Because it's bigger than what you've been asking for. So these 31 days, every morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, getting up, sacrificing, tired, sick. We've been sick. I've been tired. We've been going through challenges, different challenges we've been having to deal with for 17 days, but we've been faithful, and we believing that God is honoring it because the testimonies are coming in about people who are saying what's been happening. We got Deb talking about how her sister was, she got a breakthrough with her sister's cancer. We dealing with people who are developing their spirits. We're dealing with people who taking notes. We're dealing with some real serious issues.
It's not something.
Yeah.
Tiffany's like, she taking notes on the phone.
And sharing them, putting it out there so people say, oh, my God, that's what I missed. Yes, you did. You better make sure. So, and the issue with that, again, as we prepare, right, because it's almost 9, right? But as we prepare.
Our topic, right.
People rather be entertained. The enemy is tricking people to rather be entertained.
You know what? You're going to be entertained and left. You're going to be entertained and be left back.
There you go.
Know what I'm saying? You're going to be entertained and not transform and get into what God has for you.
There you go.
So keep wanting to be entertained because life is going to keep passing you by and by and by and by. Ooh. Looking at people's lives and trying to be entertained and trying to be like somebody that you not.
My God. Right? Tiff is saying, what's up? What's up, Tiff? How you doing?
What's up,
Shout out to our social media, our Facebook and our Instagram.
What's
people
up?
tuned in with us.
Everybody for joining us, but so we preaching, we talking a lot, we doing all that. The prayer call you can find on our Instagram pages. I am Whitney D. Smith, and also my Facebook, Whitney D. Smith. Dwayne, tell them your social handles so they can know about the information. I just recently
changed it because I believe that it's a movie
said it like
that's
a movie.
happening.
I saw that.
The D. Graham Show is my Instagram name.
No, it's not. It's the movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. The movie. You're right. My bad. See, that's why I love you. Because you need somebody that's going to correct you and remind you and tell you when you start slipping and tripping and your mind start going elsewhere, right? The D. Graham Movie. That's the Instagram name. The D. Graham Movie.
Ain't he a movie, y'all? Just look at him.
The D. Graham Movie. Yeah. You know why? And I'm going to tell you why real quick, the reason why I changed it, right?
Tell me.
You know what's been going on with me. You know, my brother recently transitioned, right?
Right.
And I titled his sermon, right, The Gospel of Derek. So because I'm still here, this is a movie.
Yeah. You know.
Go.
Damn.
Here we go.
We even get to.
That's fine.
I know it's fine.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Remind me to say something.
All right.
All right.
Who's on the line?
Hi, it's Pretty Ricky.
Oh!
Hey, what's up, Pretty Ricky?
Yeah, Pretty.
I'm watching live, and I don't know if I'm too early in the call-in.
Yeah, that's all right. But we could have Skyped you in because, Pretty Ricky.
That's fine.
You want to, thank you for calling in because you did say you were calling in. You know, we advertised today that Pretty Ricky was going to be here on our show today.
Right.
She has some good things that she has to take care of that she's working on. Right, Ricky?
Yeah.
So she couldn't be in the building today, but we want to thank her for calling.
Right.
And before how are we going to do this? Because I want you to be in this conversation. How are we going to do this?
She just Skype in. That's all.
You want to Skype in?
All right, I'll Skype in.
All right. I'm gonna text you the info.
All right.
All right.
You go.
Okay, cool. So let's go.
Let's get to the guest.
Let's get to the guest. But I'll read. Wait, I want to say something about this situation.
Okay, go
that
ahead.
You said talked about Derek transitioning, right? And when I talked about being afflicted today, in the scripture Psalms, and things things die in our lives, and things either die, transition, and all that, so we can live. And you've been afflicted by Derek's death.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? Big time. But the fact is, sometimes we are afflicted even by the hardship of life, being somebody leaving our lives, God taking them back to where they came from.
There you go.
You're afflicted so you can live.
Yeah.
We need situations, and not to say, sometimes things, God, we are afflicted so we can live. So you're living.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're living on a different level now.
Yeah.
Because Derek's no longer here.
Yeah.
He's here in spirit, but not here in the physical body.
Yeah.
So you're on a different level living, a different level serving.
Yeah.
So God uses affliction, whether it's sickness, whether it's death / transition, whether it's hardship, hurtful, anything that makes us feel horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God uses that for him to get the good, for him to get the glory, but for us to even live even on a different level.
Yeah, I agree.
You feel me?
I totally agree.
All right,
and I appreciate that perspective.
No, you're welcome. All right, so let's get to our guests. We got a couple of guests tonight, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get to our guest who is physically here.
Yeah.
You might say, who's this guy sitting in the middle of
Let's
Dwayne and Whit?
Let's do it. Come on.
Right? So we want you to introduce yourself.
Once again, it's your boy Mac 357. I'm on the Evening Experience radio show from 5 to 7 every Thursday, right here on In the Mix Radio. I tell everybody it goes down every week. I normally do a show that deals with music, life. We talk about everything, sports. The show in and of itself facilitates a intricate connection to people who are trying to put their music out. People who are celebrities and different other people who come into the show, such as DJ Self, Funkmaster Flex, and a whole bunch of different other people.
Okay.
And now we got him he's on the Conversations of Whitney and Dwayne, a different platform, but definitely
Amen.
can add. He's saying amen, so he's falling in line, right?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. In alignment.
Right. So we're happy to have him on our show, and he can definitely contribute to our conversation tonight.
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna get Pretty Ricky on. She's gonna Skype in. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be like a Mars Venus type of thing.
When y'all get ready to drop the book or when it comes out, I definitely want to invite y'all to our show.
We coming.
And definitely have y'all on to have a conversation, because sometimes I think in life a lot of people don't get glory from different platforms because people are afraid to bring them in. And I believe in bringing all different platforms to our platform, because God doesn't stop from one place to another.
That
He's
is true.
Every place. God is everywhere. So there is no one place that God can't go. God is everywhere.
That's good.
That's dope.
That's good.
dope.
And it's true.
That's
it's
dope.
very true. And I thank you for that. And I just want to say that I pray that and hope that, God takes the visions that he's given you to, those stratospheres and plateaus that people don't believe will happen for you. So people can see that God is with you as well.
Amen.
So that's my declaration and hope and prayer and decree for you as Whitney and I continue to journey in the realms and levels and lanes that God got us in.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it. What's up?
Let's jump in. So, God, tell me our topic.
Okay, so tonight, what we doing tonight? Here's what we doing tonight. Here's, after all of that foreplay,
It's like a Mars and
it's time to
Venus
make
type
love.
of
Let's
thing.
make love
Ooh,
tonight.
let's make love.
We making love tonight. The
Ooh,
foreplay is
baby,
over. We done kissed you on the
baby.
neck enough. We done. Oh
I
God,
feel
here we
your
go.
love
Who's on the line?
Surrounding me. Oh.
After all of that foreplay, it's time to make love. Let's
Who's this?
Pretty Ricky.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was probably like a little lag.
Yeah, there's a lag. I'm watching
Okay.
live, but there's a lag. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Pretty
all right.
Ricky, she's on the phone with us, and so happy to have her too. So, Pretty Ricky, can you give the people, our viewers, they missed you. You've been on our show twice, but give them a little background of you and who you are.
Pretty Ricky, author of Happy, Nappy, and Stress Free, and a motivational speaker behind Heart to Heart Eureka. And I basically talk about relationships and healing after a breakup. That's just what I bring to the table.
That's dope. And you got a ring on your finger now, so
And
congratulations.
I got a ring on my finger now.
Yes, congratulations,
Congratulations
on the
to you.
engagement.
Congratulations.
God bless.
Thank you, Dwayne.
And when's
Thank you,
the
Whitney.
wedding?
The wedding is in September, and Whitney is one of my bridesmaids / maid of honor, because I don't really have everyone serving double titles.
Hey.
I'm fortunate, and I'm happy to be able to be in the midst on that day. So thank you for choosing me. So,
Thank you.
Our conversation for tonight. So, Dwayne, bring us in. You know, it's 9:07. We're a little bit, we're late on the conversation.
Yeah.
So, bring us into this conversation.
I mean, it's
Dwayne.
real simple. You know, this year, 2019, and for the rest of our lives, however much longer we have left to live, what we're discussing tonight is never settling. We are never settling. We are not settling for crumbs. We're not settling for at least. We're not settling for the bare minimum.
The bad relationships.
We're not settling for dysfunction, chaos. We're not
Hurt.
settling. We're not settling. We're demanding.
Men.
We're demanding.
I'm just kidding.
Right? We're demanding our worth. We're demanding. That's what we're talking about tonight.
We're not. We're demanding, but we're taking our worth back.
Well,
whatever. What?
That's fine. I'm gonna stay
Leave
there.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna stay there.
leave
I'm
it
gonna stay there.
there.
I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. I'll do that. Right. But
Yeah.
in every arena,
We're
not settling.
So let's talk about love and relationships first, and then we could go to different arenas after that.
Well,
How
go
about
ahead.
that? You want to walk down that street?
Wow.
Well, that's fine. I think
Okay,
that. Okay,
so
let's do
that.
it. Let's do it.
Because the reason why I want to say that is let's talk about love and relationships, and particularly I want to talk about I don't want to talk about family relationships right now, but since we have Rika on the phone, Pretty Ricky on the phone, I definitely want to talk about love relationships because to be honest, a lot of women, even I don't know how you guys men, I don't know how the men do whatever the case is, but
Wow.
anyway,
Man
so
down.
anyway, thank you Ricky on the phone. So anyway, as far as women are concerned, right?
Right.
A lot of women, and big up to my women, are in a space, and maybe I don't want to seclude, are in a space where, people in general. Okay, I want to bring the men back in because I don't want to make the women feel like we just desperate or whatever.
Just say it.
But I'll just say it. Okay, Dwayne.
Just say it. Just
All
jump
right.
in.
But it's a lot of people who have an issue with dealing with singleness, yo. It's for real.
Yeah.
It's real. And you know what? Believe it or not, I would say probably it might be mostly women in a space where singleness feels like an affliction, that they're in this space because of, because maybe, God, why are you doing this to me? The
Right.
desires of my heart. So a lot of women are dealing with this place of singleness and wanting to be in these relationships or stay in relationships that don't mean us any good because we're scared
Right.
of being alone. So I can't really say that men are in that space, and you guys can let me know that because I'm not a male. I talk to a lot of women. So I want to bring Pretty Ricky on that about not settling and being content
Right.
with your singleness, being content where you are, and not settling just for some relationship that's going to
Right.
cause you pain and hurt and bring you back to a place where you thought you healed from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's go with that, Rick.
Right. Being single is not the same thing as being lonely, and I think that is the major confusion
That's
with
good.
women. Is like, oh, I'm single, so I'm lonely, and also like there's a lot of stress coming from families where they're like, oh, so you don't have a partner, oh, so you don't have a man, or when you're getting married, when is this going to happen, when is that? And there's so much stress put on, and again, we're speaking from the female perspective, and it's just so much stress put on the woman to feel as if they're not in a relationship, that they are incomplete. And what that leads to is the woman feeling like they can only be complete when they're with a man or with a partner, right? So they only feel complete when they have another person. And what Winnie and I were speaking about prior to this segment is like having to take that opportunity while you're single to fall back in love with yourself and rebuild. And remember, if you remember, Dwayne, we spoke about how society teaches us to be one way, and we normalize that. We normalize that to be like how we think we're supposed to be, and we have to unlearn that, right? And so in the process of unlearning, we have to unlearn that being single is okay. Being single is an opportunity to, like, one, fall back in love with ourselves, build ourselves up, get kind of deal with our baggage, and get to a point where we're not feeling lonely when we're single, right? Because being single and being lonely are two different concepts, and they should not be the same. They're not mutually exclusive, right? And it's really, really important for women and men to realize, honestly, that being single is a blessing. Having that opportunity to say, hey, I have this time now to really focus on how I'm going to build myself for the next thing and for my next purpose, because as much as it's really great to have a partner, it's even better to have a partner that's suitable for us. And we cannot have a suitable partner when we're sitting in a relationship that is not beneficial for us because we just want to be in a relationship.
Good.
Does that make sense?
Good stuff. Any of you men want to contribute to that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I will say this. People have a tendency of not loving themselves. The reason why you feel so alone is because of the fact that you don't love yourself.
Right.
If you have self-love, you're sustained until, as you said, you become yoked with someone who is properly there for you or in God or has the same faith and beliefs that you do, that you're able to then now have a successful relationship or one that works because of the fact that now you're both are on the same page. But when you don't love yourself, that's when you open yourself to all of the negativity or the quick relationships or the things that are bad for you, because even in pain, you feel something. Even in suffering, you feel something, as opposed to being alone or being by yourself until you're prepared to now go out and deal with someone properly. Somebody doesn't want to stand in the practice of being by themselves because they think that being by themselves means that there's no one for them, or they start to have self-doubt and they start to not understand that you're being prepared for something.
That's good. That's good, Dwayne.
Absolutely.
I think that if not to take anything away from the good brother who just gave great perspective to the dialogue, right? But if I can add some different language, right? That being by yourself, you're not alone. You're not by yourself, right? That we tend to feel in those moments. I'm with myself. I'm not by myself, right?
Right.
Just that simple, wordplay, right? I'm not by myself. I'm with myself, right? Because it's that language that makes us enter into those other realms where we start to really start considering people who I know I shouldn't consider because I'm using the wrong language to describe the state that I'm in. When I start to say that I'm with myself instead of by myself, I don't got to be interested in bringing somebody into my space who I know I shouldn't be connected to. But when I say that I'm with myself and I start to learn how to love me and heal me through my spiritual connection with the God that I profess to be in relationship with, if that's where I am, then I'm not going to be interested in bringing people into my space that's going to be or play a part in why I remain single, or the language that we've been conditioned to use, by myself.
But you know, can I add to that? The thing is, the thing is that it's like, okay, so what do you think about yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're saying that you are not really worth anything.
There you go.
You know, you're not even putting yourself first. You know, okay, I'm not. You know, I like that language, Dwayne. You know, I'm not by myself and with myself. What was it?
By myself versus with myself.
Yeah,
We're changing the language. I'm with me.
Yeah,
I'm not by myself. I'm with me.
Right, I understand that. What I'm saying is that you putting yourself second. You know what I'm saying? Like, put yourself first. You know you are important, and I think most people do that. They don't put themselves first. You know, in my belief, I put God first, and then I come, right? But once you put yourself first, and I feel like you're not gonna feel like that. When I went to that, when I took myself out on a date, and I usually go to the movies and out to dinner by myself, but as far as me stepping out of my comfort zone and taking out myself on a date, going to a seminar with 1,000 people, and I'm going by myself, that Love Me Summit, I was like, wow, I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I love my own company. I put myself first. I think people, you have to fall in love with who you are. Yeah. And if you don't like who you are, you don't love who you are, look yourself in the mirror and have that conversation and start to change and try to start changing those things that you don't like about you. You know, oftentimes, or most of the time, we attract who we are. Right?
Yes,
we attract who we are. If I'm in a relationship and I'm meeting people and I attract you, and if I'm attracting a hurt, if I'm hurt, I'm going to attract hurt. If I'm attracting pain, if I'm painful, if I'm going through if I'm feeling if I'm not healed, I'm going to attract those things. So being by ourselves is a blessing, like you said, because we have time. When I say be by ourselves, meaning that you're spending time with yourself. So let's change the language. When you're spending time with yourself, When you're spending time with yourself, putting yourself as a priority above everybody else, because you got to make sure you're good first, you have the opportunity to love on yourself, heal yourself, reconnect to God, or reconnect with, be on a different spiritual path. Get your credit right. You have time to do you with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's why I love our show.
Going
right?
crazy over there.
Here's
man.
No, because you just help give birth to something else, right? And I love all of what you said, and I love what our special guest has said, right? And I'm not, right? But and I never thought about this until tonight.
PC.
Prior to tonight, I said what you said, right? Feelings, right? It's all about how we feel, right? For the rest of our lives, let's change this, right? I only feel what I believe in. Right. That's all I feel. Because what is happening with many of us is our feelings versus what we believe are not in relationship with each other.
True. That's good.
What we feel and what we believe is not in sync with one another. What we have to learn how to do is make what we believe what we feel. So even though I may be single and now I'm with myself, I don't have to feel alone and now welcome in energy and people or relationships or do things that have nothing to do with my purpose. So if I believe that I'm purposed or God has anointed me or called me for some kind of purpose, and I believe that I'm a child of God, I'm the Most High God. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I'm not even spiritual. I just believe that there's something greater than me that exists, and I believe that something created me. I believe that. I don't even know how to word it at times, but that's just where I am. So I want to believe that so I can feel that, and that becomes what guides me. Right. That's what guides me, not when I'm looking at everybody else's life and I'm now inspired or influenced or, I'm led or I'm distracted because I want what everybody else has. No, I want to feel what I believe. So what we have to do now is examine what we believe. What do we believe about ourselves? Not what we feel and what we want. What do I believe about me? What is the belief that I have about myself? What is the belief that I have for the rest of my life? Because that belief plays a big role in, here's the topic of conversation, never settling again. And maybe I've been settling because I've been believing that I'm not worth it. I believe that I'm less than, so I don't believe that I'm worth more, so I settle and I accept whatever it is I can get. And I use the wrong language to capture where I am. That's the mistake that I've been making. So going forward, how do we fix it? Because me and Whit are big on solution instead of focusing and talking about the problem. Right. What we're big on is solution. And maybe the solution for you is maybe you don't believe or you don't feel what you believe. Maybe you feel it, and that's just where you are. And then when it becomes really intense and very emotional, that's where you get stuck. And then you bring people into that stuck space, and nothing new manifests itself into your life.
Love that.
So let's examine what we believe.
And I think what's really the key here, and if we're being solution oriented, it's like realizing and recognizing that the person that we're with from birth until death is ourselves at all times. We take ourselves to the bathroom. We take ourselves to intimate places that other people don't even have an opportunity to go. So why is it that we're allowing society to tell us that we should not be intimate with ourselves to the point that we don't feel alone when we are, or feel lonely when we are alone, right? And it's just like, you have to, like you said, I like the way you're framing it. It's like, I'm with myself. And I'm always with myself, right? I'm with myself the most, more than anyone else. I'm with myself the most. So the person that I'm with all the time, right, I should feel content with that person. And you're right. People need to be able to be at a place where they can build themselves up and recognize that being with myself is of the most important.
Yes. And you know what? We talk about connection, right? A lot of us are not connected with ourselves, right?
Right.
A lot of us are not in alignment with who we are. A lot of us don't even know who we are. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna save that. But a lot of us are not connected to who we are as individuals, and that's the problem. Not just believing what we believe. Well, what do you believe about yourself? But who are you? You know what I'm saying? Who are you? Do you even know who you are?
It's difficult for me to know who I am because I'm so consumed with what I want.
and I'm so consumed with everybody else.
Yeah, those two things play a huge role in why I never get to a point where I can start to feel what I believe. I can live out what I believe. But you had your hand up. I want you to say what you was going to say.
I tell people all the time that if you go out and you eat bad food, you eventually die.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing with a relationship. If you feed yourself enough bad people, you are killing yourself. You're killing yourself spiritually. You're killing yourself mentally. You're killing yourself all the time. If you want to be sustained, you have to first learn how to eat proper. And the way to do that is by first sitting with yourself and finding out what's the best thing for you. And a lot of people just rather chew on the junk because it's quicker, it's easier for you to obtain that than to sit back and actually put together a proper meal. And as you feed yourself through that time and you give yourself the proper nutrients, then you step out with a sustained body, a sustained mind, a sustained spirit. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity because of the fact that they want the quick stuff because that's easier to ascertain than to step away and actually get a proper meal or build a proper plan to get that meal.
What are you feeding yourself? What are you eating?
I like to say to both of you guys' points, right, that we have to get to a point where our main concern and our main focus going into the year and for the rest of our lives, however much longer we have left to live, because I think that's important for us to continue to reiterate, for us to continue to emphasize that this year and for the rest of my life, because sometimes the narrative and the conversation is always about what I've been through and what I'm going through, and there's no vision for the rest of our lives. So I think that that's important for us to insert and stress and overemphasize the importance of the rest of our lives rather than what we've been through and what we're going through. So for myself, if we are not willing, right, for myself, I'll be transparent. I'll go me. For the rest of my life, what I'm going to do is I'm going to worship God for the rest of my life. Regardless of the hits and the attacks that come my way, I'm still going to worship. That's number one. Because I have to maintain that connection in order for me to live this life. When I'm not connected to God, I'm not living. I'm a horrible version of myself. So before I even think about aligning myself with somebody else, I got to deal with me first. And that's not just in a relationship context. That's work, that's career, that's purpose, that's all of those things. So for me, I understand for the rest of my life, 2019, that for the rest of my life, I have to worship. That's first. The second thing is I got to be willing to work on me. I have to continue to work on Dwayne. If I'm not working on Dwayne and I got the audacity to want to bring somebody into my space because I feel alone and I feel like I want to be with somebody, or I'm horny, or I feel like getting freaky and nasty and I want to bring somebody into my world because I can't handle these urges and cravings and these sexual desires and imaginations and infatuations that I have, what's wrong? That's me now. So for me, I understand that for the rest of my life, what I got to do is I got to worship and I got to work on me, and I got to align myself with people who are more concerned with me and them fulfilling purpose and vision. And then I can share that with someone else. If that's not on my mind every day, whatever I commit myself to with whoever, if anybody gives me a chance, I'm wasting time.
But you know what? You're wasting their time too.
But the loneliness, to your point, the loneliness, you're not thinking about wasted time. You're thinking about fulfilling desire.
Yeah, desire and a temporary desire.
True.
That's all you're thinking about. So,
absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Fleeting moment.
Yeah, so I think that it's important because, again, we're talking about solution, and our platform, our show is about soul conversations and not just social conversations. Right. Exactly. So we want to be able to have conversations with you guys about the solution. And the solution for this particular conversation is we want to have conversations with you guys where you understand what work you got to do if you're tired of settling.
Right.
That's what we want you guys to be more concerned with. If you tired of settling and you no longer want to settle, this is the kind of conversation you want to make sure you are connected to.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to have I'm sorry, Pretty Vicky. I just want to say, and you got to have a conversation with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to look in the mirror and have a hard talk to talk conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
That's where you need to start first. Well, you start with God. That's my advice to you. You start with God, and then you have a conversation with yourself. That's how you start to change, because you have to recognize first before you can even start the transformation and visualize. I can't visualize anything if I'm still stuck in the past, if I'm still stuck where I am. It's hard for me to visualize that. You know what I'm saying? Until I have that hard conversation with myself. So I understand what you're saying, Dwayne. You got to worship God and work on you. Working on you is having that conversation with yourself and confronting some stuff about you, so you can start, so the smoke can clear.
Every day.
You got to do it
every day.
You got to do it every day and be intentional about it.
Like, until we embrace that nothing is really going to really transform and change.
No.
It's just going to be a do-over. It's going to be a repeat. It's going to be a rerun. That's what it's going to be. And all we're going to do is bring new characters into the same movie. Yep. And nothing new is going to show up. And then we find ourselves feeling tired. And then what happens is, the topic of the show, we settle there.
Yeah.
We die there. Many of us die there. We go to the grave with the dream still inside of us, never fulfilling the purpose that we were created for. That is what happens with many people along this journey. And that's not a critique. That's not a judgment. No, it's an observational. It's a truth. So if you don't want that to be your truth, what you want to make sure you do is each day you don't be distracted by the entertainment. You enjoy the entertainment when you have time for the entertainment. But when you're not making time for the entertainment, what you need to be more concerned with doing is worshiping, serving, working on yourself, surrendering yourself, sacrificing yourself, serving so God can transform you, so you don't put yourself alongside anybody who's not trying to have a settled lifestyle.
You know what, too? And once you become this person, this your higher self, right? Once you become that person, you're not going to allow yourself to be around other people who just settle, because your spirit is not going to connect with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you'll be there maybe to inspire them, to help them, but you're not going to sit there. You know what I'm saying? You're just not going to be attracted to that anymore. And that's just not going to be your normal. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that comes around you, they're going to have to come up to your level. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you coming down to their level and sitting in their level, you're going to force them to come up, because you got this different mindset, this different mind frame. You have transformed. Your name has been changed. So they're going to have to come up to you. So anybody that gets in your circle, is going to be a privilege to be in your circle. You've heard? You've heard.
You heard. You heard.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love that energy. Right?
I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
And as we
go into track that,
as we go into the last 2 or 3 minutes, right? I want to say this, right? You want to make sure, we all want to make sure, rather, right, that we are transforming, worshiping God, serving God, working on ourselves, fulfilling vision, purpose, right? And also receiving the promises of God for our lives. That way, when we bring that into the context that we're currently living in this country, we're living in a time where this person is fixated on having a wall. And if this person don't get this wall, this person is willing to impact the masses to whatever degree.
Doesn't matter.
He don't care.
He don't care.
So what you want to make sure you do, looking at that reality, is I want to make sure that I'm getting up every day and I'm intentional with staying focused on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Right. Because what will happen is you will not only be affected, but you will be impacted. Mm-hmm. There's people who are in this country who are impacted, but they're not affected. They can look at this stuff and say, this dude is crazy. But they not affected. Their money not affected. Their lifestyle's not affected. They're fine. But other people are being impacted. They're not receiving funds. They're not receiving certain things to take care of their livelihood. So now other people now got to be subjected to somebody else who don't care. So you talking about being single. Oh, I want to curse so bad right now, but I'm not. Being single, you need to be more concerned with focusing on your purpose, because you living in a country right now where somebody is in position of power where they don't care if you single or you with somebody else.
Word.
You need to be more concerned with fulfilling purpose.
Yes.
That's what you need to be more concerned about. Stop talking about what you want and start talking about what God wants for you. That way God will position you where no matter who's in position of power, you and yours will be just fine.
He's the source. So we want to say thank you to our guests who joined us this I'm going to say this morning, this evening on
this
our
39th show.
Yes, it's been a long day. 39th show. We're going to do a real big up.
Maybe for the 40th or the 50th. I got your back.
50th.
But maybe for the 40th or the 50th.
Yes.
We excited about what we got going on.
Yes, just to say thank you, Pretty Ricky, for calling in and joining us tonight. Thank you for gracing us a third time. And we're grateful. And just give us a little something before you go out, and then we'll hear from our other guests real quick. Just a one-liner, and then we'll, cut out. Say something to the people.
Got you. And it's important to build yourself up so that you can repel toxic people and toxic energy. It's important that you don't settle.
Thank you.
Strength and purpose comes from measurement of oneself. Take the opportunity to put that measuring stick out there. Walk by faith and not by sight.
Amen.
Okay, Bishop.
That was good.
We thank y'all.
Check this out. Thank you guys for another episode, our 39th episode,
39.
Conversation with Whitney and Dwayne. Once again, we don't only deal with the social issues, we deal with the soul issues. We want to encourage you guys to continue to rock with us, tune in with us, inthemixradio.com. This is where you need to be on Thursday nights at 5 o'clock with the good brother, or at 8:30 with us. You want to make sure you tuning in with us. We got some great conversations for you guys to help put you in the perspectives, or at least give you the perspectives that will equip you to continue the journey for this life, because we don't want you to sink, drown, or die in struggle.
Nah.
That is what we want for you guys. Have a blessed,
God bless
amazing
you guys. We love you.
night. We'll see you guys.
Yes. Day 18 tomorrow. Join us on the prayer call.
And I'm on the line.
What's that supposed to mean?
Really, what?